I don't realize is there. What are most of them, or how are most nonprofits thinking about insurance versus how they should be thinking about it?
Well, I think that insurance is an interesting product to buy. It's not going to get you a big audience at a cocktail party, but it is an interesting product to buy. And if you stop and think about it for a second, if I sold you a chair and it was missing a leg, you know right away, right? If I sell
Especially
you,
at that cocktail party, I would.
that's true. And insurance is words; it's a contract, and it's a you're getting access to capital if something bad happens, and something bad doesn't happen very often. So a lot of times you'll get away with, let's say a less than optimal product. You don't even know it until you need it, and then it becomes something. And on top of, if you combine that with my first story about how does different shades of gray, how do you make these decisions? It's completely a subjective exercise. And there are good folks everywhere. Everybody's got a broker. Everybody's out there doing the best they can. And it's really more of an institutional question. And what we've tried to do is institutionally introduce an objective element of how to make this decision, and that is to be a partner and to take the advantage and to reap the advantages of partnership, which includes a revenue stream. And we're the only folks doing that, so we think we've arrived at something that objectively supports the decision.
So, okay, that's fascinating. I think that's what you have conceived of is of such value to nonprofits. But I know that, and speaking from my experience during my time with nonprofits, typically insurance is just considered a line item in a budget, and it's one of those line items that, as you said, it's different shades of gray. So I'm just going to minimize the amount of money that I should spend on that. So what shift in thinking needs to occur before we can get to like this really practical change?
I think it's understanding the nuances of the product. And when I said that you don't know you need it till you need it,
Right.
and there is.
So that's really interesting. That's fascinating. So so maybe now, like, get us into a little bit of this nitty gritty. Like, if you've obviously presented this to people in the nonprofit space, and when you're talking to an executive director, like, what is their first reaction, and what do you, how do you present it so that the kind of skeptical, wait a minute, this was just something I needed to get off my plate and make it as low of a dollar amount as I could, that goes away, and they start to realize and recognize the value you're proposing? Mm-hmm. Wow. Yeah. Something that was already going to happen. Okay. So without like completely giving us the entire playbook, can you speak a little bit now to where does that revenue come from for the nonprofit, or how does, what does that look like? What piece is that? What does that look like? Yeah. Okay. So, and you just mentioned Alpha Pro. So can you explain the difference, Unitas Brokerage and Alpha Pro, in that relationship as well? Okay. I gotcha. Okay. Okay. So that's cool. Okay. So is there a particular like size or structure of nonprofit that will benefit more from this kind of product, or is it really whatever size you come in as, where, you'll receive something commensurate to that size? Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Totally. And this was truly just like, there's no differential in price to be a part of this. This was just like money that was already there, money that was going out anyway. You're a very comparably priced product, and now you're getting a return on it. That's incredible.